I'm not mad at it. Do what you got to do.
Oh, no, I'm not mad. No, I'm learning.
That's a lot of fun.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
there you go.
I'm learning.
Ask some questions and you be like, yo, I got a couple dollars. What you think? And I'll be following some of these shits and they be like, take that couple dollars and do this and then do that. And it's going to suck for a while, but it's just going to come around.
I need it now.
I need to retire
That's good.
tomorrow.
I wanted to do this shit. Should have done this shit 15 years ago. Shit.
All right, let's get after it. Let's get these shots in.
Oh, let me swirl mine a little bit.
Swirl it. Here's another one, fellas. To another blessed week. Let's get after it.
To health and wealth.
To health and wealth. Once again, we got that Watch Podcast. Everyday guys doing everyday shit. As always, I'm your boy KP. My guys here with me. My man Dre.
What up?
That guy E.Cuther. My bad. And J.Carey. I knew what I was doing.
Damn, they look alike to you?
Kinda. A little bit.
Damn, nigga, we black.
Racial.
How y'all doing, man?
We almost through the week. We almost through the week, so
Why is that?
What you mean, why?
Why is it all we almost through the week? Someone said that to me one time, and I was just thinking to myself, damn,
You wanted to
I'm
ask
mad on Tuesday?
On a Tuesday.
I got a long way to go. If I'm looking for
You almost there.
I'm tired. And people be like, we almost there. I'm like, almost to what? I gotta
I
start
guess
this
it's
shit
just
over.
a weekend thing, nigga. But I get what you're trying to get at.
Yeah,
Like,
man, we gotta
what
do
makes
better.
it? What makes the week suck so bad?
Yeah, I need to get to a place where I can
Just be happy
be
out
good
all
all
time.
week.
I see my 4-day work week back.
4-day work week. Oh, them COVID days.
No, that's nowadays.
That's what, 10 hours?
Yeah, I'll do
What?
410s.
No, 4 days.
No, but 4 10s.
No, 4 days.
Talk that shit. 4 days, meaning I work
No,
Monday
nigga.
through Thursday,
Monday
and I'm
through
off
Thursday,
on Friday.
Friday, what? Who?
32 hours.
Where? No.
That's how it's happening. I think California already started where they only work 4 days a week and Fridays.
What
gotta
work
be
are
in
you
the tech
getting done on
industry
a
then.
Friday?
Shit, niggas looking at that clock like, fuck this job right now.
Are you gonna come to work and crush it on a Friday?
That goes back to saying we're in the middle of the week.
It all comes back. These CEOs need to learn.
Nah.
They ain't getting shit from us on Fridays. Not a damn thing.
Speak for yourself. Hey, I work on Friday.
What J.Carey
That's your
said.
best day, nigga. You said it right there.
No, I just said I work on Friday.
I work on Fridays too.
You just said they ain't getting shit from you.
I didn't say me in particular.
Oh, now, oh, okay. You said
world
us. Like
slows
I'm in
down.
this us.
The world slow down on Fridays, and that's what he was just saying. Like
Shouldn't be working so hard.
we
on
shouldn't
Friday.
have. We shouldn't have to, and we proved it 2 years for COVID. We didn't even do all that shit.
You don't even need to show up to the job.
Man,
I mean, I understand it's everyone's, it's a unique situation, but yeah, we do that to prevent burnout, man.
Right.
You ever seen somebody burn out on the job before?
yes.
Yeah.
That shit is dangerous.
I'm about to
went-
say me.
That shit's dangerous, man. You gotta,
Are going through the motions.
yeah.
But let's get after it. I think that's a good way about what we want to talk about today. So pretty much, I'm curious about teaching old dogs new tricks. Everybody heard the term old angry white folks that don't want to change their ways. Black folks, old Mexican abuela. How you say it? Abuela?
Abuela.
Abuela, who's always yelling at their kids because they want to keep the culture and all that.
Keep the culture.
Is that why they do it?
Right?
God damn.
That's not what they do it.
What a shitty way. Yell at all
what they
these
know.
little niggas.
Bleed it into their fucking brain.
I'm gonna pass it around the room while I deal the cards. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Do you think it's possible? Do you think that saying is a real thing? Like, do you think it can happen, Dre? What you think?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. I think when it comes to teaching old dog new tricks, it's like old motherfuckers that are set in their ways, but their ways are different from their parents' old ways and their parents before them old ways.
Are they though? Because I'm starting to
Yeah.
see a lot of people I want to say not our, a little bit of our generation and the past generation and the generation before that all have the exact same values because this is what they're taught.
That's values, but we're talking about, I guess, like, if you talk about like traditions and stuff like that, then yeah, that's holds some sort of historical or cultural significance, and yeah, you keep and hold on to that. But I think we're talking about having someone change their ways. It's as society progresses and you have young people that challenge rules and everything like that, will the old generation kind of go along with them? So I say yes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because if they're open to it, if they're open to teaching an old dog new tricks, yes, they can change, because they're not doing the same tricks their parents was doing.
Yeah, so.
But their parents are trying to teach them tricks, though, right?
J.Carey, so before we got into it, we were talking about Fridays off and things like that. That's one thing of teaching an old dog. Some CEOs still feel like they need you here 5 days a week, sometimes over 40 hours. They still feel like that's the way to be. You know what I mean? Some places, I need you present. I need you in the building.
I want to see you.
I want to see you. Yeah, this is the whole thing where turn your cameras on when you're on Teams calls and shit like that. But we just experienced a whole world where we did not have to do that, and we were fine. And so, like J.Carey, why do you think some CEOs just won't release that old way of doing it?
I mean, me personally, I had an epiphany, right? So I worked at a company, and I worked at this same company for damn near a decade, right? And yeah, I guess looking back on it, I guess I got a little complacent, right? It was a secure bet. It was there no matter what, you know. But in looking at that, I realized I had been shorting myself.
Right.
So now, I mean, at the first hint of anything I don't like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Onto some other shit. Yeah. So I understand that there are. It's like it's a rabbit hole you jump into when you do that. You know when you turn into a quote unquote money chaser, because you're just all you're doing is you're just gonna learn some new tricks right here, and I'm gonna say thank y'all, and I'm gonna take those new tricks over here.
Okay, so you giving me a different topic.
No. It's just
Stay with it. So you said if I learn these new tricks or new ways, that means I'll never stop.
I think no. I just, as far as like, can you teach an old dog new tricks? Yes, I believe that. But the dog has to come to that realization. You can't just force it on somebody.
Right.
When you start forcing it on people, that's when people start getting real weird and fucking. So now we got the boomer shit now, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, you can't say this in the classroom, or you can say this, and now boomers are like, what the fuck? Like, fuck, we never did that. But so if you're not receptive to that shit, then you're gonna put up a fight. If you're receptive, then it's like, you know what, cool, fuck it, cool. What can we say again? Let me write it down. Okay, sweet, I got it. It all depends on the dog.
But that's my point right there. It's just like, I think one, that's why we have the term millennials and like all those types of things, is because one generation continues to do things that way. So like, I don't know if anybody at this table does it, but like, I know people in my everyday life who are just like, I know that's a millennial. And I'm like, because of the way they do stuff.
I don't really even know. Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I don't be trying to do that.
I don't be doing the math. Like,
You know what I mean?
This nigga's 30, this nigga's 40. Like, I don't know.
So, Cutter, you got people in your lifestyle from all generations. You got this new generation. I don't even know what they're called anymore, but you got a new generation. You got another big generation. You got the generation right after us coming along. Then you got us, and then everybody else. Can you tell the difference, or like, is there a way?
No, fuck no.
You got us and everybody else.
No.
Fuck everybody above us.
No. I mean, you can kind of look at someone and a character probably, but I don't. No, it's not. You can't. I mean, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, and I don't think we're gonna judge that one by its cover. I'm telling them where they rank in that category.
Because I think J.Carey made a good point of, you know, the dog and, you know, generations, and like, I'm not doing that. I think this new generation is more willing to be like,
to do anything.
Shit can be different in all aspects.
That's every new generation though.
But this one's like totally different.
This one's
like
going.
what does each generation do, right? When the generation is young, they want to do the opposite of what their parents tell them to do. They want to push the envelope. They want to test boundaries. They want to push new limits. They want to innovate. That's where the energy is. You get to a certain point, Keith, where you live that life. You've gone through that point, and now it's like, look, I ain't got the energy for that shit no more. Like, I've lived my life. Now this is who I am. This is where I'm at, and I'm comfortable.
Like what he said, being content. And then I learned new tricks, nigga, and I'm ready to take those tricks to everywhere I could go. Because it's always about learning something new also.
It's always about learning something.
Well, it's two things. It's not just learning, it's two things. There's content, definitely. There's content, but there's also, just like in any workplace, right? When you deal with change management, if you have a big project, you about to change some shit, you know motherfuckers gonna be upset.
Because they don't want that change.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort and energy to
Who's always the
change.
one mad about the change? It's always some old dude.
That's been there forever.
Nah, it be people our age.
Oh, because
So we getting to that point though, to being
Yeah.
an old head.
I think it's more, you got to look at it from a generational point of view, right? So everything that the little kids that's growing up in now, that foundation was set before our generation, the one right before ours. So now they're living this shit like, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like any of this shit.
They speak up more too.
So, okay.
this
so
new generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
a lot of it comes
How
from
so?
that.
How so? What you mean they speak up more?
They're more vocal than we are. And I mean, it might have to do with social media because you could brand yourself and your voice any way possible. Like this right here,
Right. Yep.
you could do anything with that. And I think that's what puts a difference in a lot. Like if we would have had shit like this in high school, how would we be?
Well,
Dre.
well,
Go ahead, Drake.
Y'all niggas mad.
no, I think that goes to something else we talked about is, yeah, definitely social media. These kids grew up, the internet was already here. They didn't know a time before that.
We figured the internet out.
Boom. So, but also what have we said, like we take what we experienced growing up and we adapted it to how we want to parent. So would you say that you are giving them that freedom to express themselves more than you were given? Or we were given. I know I wasn't given that freedom.
So in doing that, is that you teaching yourself a new trick? Like you're saying, I know how I was parented, for example.
I don't want to do it that way.
I understand that way, because I obviously turned out fine, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it differently for them. Is that teaching you a new
Well,
trick? Or are you
it's-
just going to say, fuck it, I'm going to do it the way my daddy did
That's
it
a new
because my daddy did it that way and his daddy did it
That's
that way?
the trick. Like you said, it depends on the dog, right? And we know the rules are different today than they were before.
Yeah, so right there then, I think it's kind of with the saying, an old dog. So yes, when you're young and you're growing, of course, you're gonna learn new things. But when you get set in your ways, like y'all been saying, is there any way of getting you out of those ways? Are you gonna just be like, I'm old now, so what's the point?
You just have to be. You have to be up for new things. Like you just can't be content with being bored.
But stay right there, Cutter. Like, that's what the jig is, though. Like, am I going to, like you said, I'm old now. I don't.
What am I trying to prove? Where am I going? What am I improving at an old age? I mean, just to be wiser, I guess. But I get what you're saying because it makes no sense. What am I accomplishing?
Right.
Well,
So
when I walked in here,
hold up, Drake.
when I walked in here, what was I complaining about?
What?
What was I complaining about when I walked in here?
Oh, your tight ass pants.
These tight ass fucking pants.
Oh my
These
God.
tight ass fucking
Oh
pants.
my God.
Hold on,
Why?
So
are
I'm
they
like,
tight?
why?
Or do they just don't
they
feel
fit?
right,
Right.
because
Are they
you're
tight
not
or do
They
they
are
fit?
my size. No, they fit.
Okay, so what's the problem?
But they're I don't know why the fucking kids do this shit.
And see, there it go.
And so like me, I'm like, I will never wear these shits
Because
again.
we used to dig 36, 38 Aberex red monkey jeans.
hold
And you
up,
know what's
J.Carey,
crazy?
but
Like
hold
to me, like even if we don't do that shit, if you ask me what I wear, like I wear shit that fits.
that fits.
This is my size. It's skinny. This shit don't feel like it fits. I know how
Nigga
kids.
said in skinny.
I know how kids do this
But
shit.
y'all are
I
making
can't put
kinda-
nothing in my pocket.
You kind of answering with like being like
You're content
this-
with wearing that same shit
this
you do.
this generation. As we were growing, baggy was a thing, and now the thing is tight. So if the fact is, I'm not saying you wearing baggy jeans or anything like that, but you're unwilling to like understand this fashion.
No, you see me dressed. I don't wear the shit like we wore in high school.
Of course.
To me, like I wear just regular fucking pants. Where I can
for
put my
who, though?
phone in my damn pocket.
And so
we say teach the old dog new tricks. Like, hey, Dre, you gonna wear some skinny jeans like these young ones? Hell no, not after today.
But then you did kind of grow a little bit, like you said. You don't wear the baggy clothes like we did back in the day, so they are a tad bit more fitted.
Yeah, they don't make them.
They don't. You can find a pair of Easy Mart and stuff like that.
Easy Mart. Oh my God.
I don't even think that's around no more.
It's not.
It's some other shit.
It's a library or some shit.
Damn,
now, huh?
no, it's a dentist.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Dentist now.
yeah, but fuck, what?
I mean,
the new
okay.
joint
But,
is
so
some
the thing
bullshit.
is, like, are trends tricks?
What do you mean?
Do we? I mean, is it really bad if you don't follow the trend? I mean, you're gonna look crazy if
Let's
you
talk
don't
about
because you're the
something that
only
ran.
one that's not following the trend.
There goes a trend.
Okay, bags, for example. We didn't wear them.
We
growing
did not
up.
wear those.
We didn't wear them.
Some
I
of us
probably
still
would
don't
never.
wear those.
Fuck you,
But
nigga.
it's a fucking bag that holds shit. What's that's what it's supposed to do, right?
So you go
learned-
into, as we get older, we get practicality, things like that. It's this works for me.
More accepting.
Is that
What
it?
do you mean, Cutter? Go ahead. You mean accepting?
Why do you have to accept it?
Because I guess it's like you said, the trend. Is it a trick? It's a trend, but I think it's just I could pull that off. Not like that so much, but like he didn't want them skinnies on. And he was like, I bet you I could do it. Now he's like, fuck no. But he had that thought in
he
his
got 'em
head.
on.
And he didn't take them off before he came, homo. So he might like him on the low.
So Dre,
No, I wouldn't be complaining about it if I liked it.
with the size change and things like that.
Yeah.
If you were to find a pair of skinny pants that
No.
actually fit in the right way,
No.
you still be like,
I'm not playing football. Like, why the fuck do I got these skinny ass pants?
So you don't wear suits,
Suits ain't skinny like that.
but you want to be fitted though, right?
Getting there.
This skinny ain't fitted.
Or another one, for example, because we're at the cusp of that age now, right? And it's funny because on the way here, I saw like 3 of them. So now you got this whole group of people that are saying, if you have that electric Mustang, you do not have a Mustang. But
So
I'm like, we grew up with Mustangs. Like we knew all the 5.0, all the classics.
yeah.
Okay?
You going into a place
not a
where
Mustang.
change is coming.
What? See?
Change is coming for everything. So now we really got Dre. You're a big car dude.
See?
It's not a Mustang.
It's not?
But hold up, why is it not? Because everything's changing. So I saw Chrysler. Who are the big names? Chrysler, Ford. They're changing. They're getting rid of all of that shit.
I know, but if you look, even the new Mustang they put out, they put like silhouettes of all the previous Mustangs. I don't think that electric joint is on there.
You're just talking about when it goes to that point.
It's not because it ain't one.
Because they discontinued them cars.
No,
That
they
whole-
still building it. They
Gone.
just put out a new joint.
But it's
No,
just
no,
something.
that's
That
what did you-
everything.
So is it
Hold
just,
up.
Is
They
it a
just
taste thing?
They just put it out that last one, and they said this is it. We're not putting any more gas-powered Mustangs, Chargers, all
Yeah.
that. It's gone.
And they had the option to put the electric joint on there, and they didn't.
I don't know, man. You
And the
talking about
lineage
marketing,
shit.
and that's something different.
No,
See?
anyway,
But that's-
anyway.
it's hanging on. It's hanging on to that.
No,
That's
'cause-
what we know, right?
All right.
Why not try something different? That's basically where we're getting at. Trying shit different.
I'm gonna
to
say
see
some
how
shit,
the
but I'm gonna
world-
go down the rabbit hole that takes us away from the shit. 'Cause I'm gonna go into cars and shit. Corvette's making an electric Corvette. It's just still gonna look like a Corvette.
Yeah.
A Corvette's not a fucking hatchback. Corvette's not an SUV. It's a fucking sports
Smart.
car.
Okay, this is what I mean by teaching the old dog. Dre is fuck that.
So
This is
you're
this,
content with
this
the way
is that.
shit is on certain things because you don't want them cars fucked with. That's basically what you're saying.
No.
I want the car to be like it is since it was
It's-
fucking the first car that was built,
I say
that first Mustang.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. We should be adaptable, right? We can't just stay. We can't stay stuck in the past because if there's no progression, there's no growth.
So
I get that.
okay, let's bring it back.
They just
in.
said car shit, and I
can
got
stay, we can stay. This
I
is one of the things we all wanted to ask. So, like you getting at the old ways, are the old ways still running the way the society should be? Like our old things still running today's? In one aspect, we ain't got to go deep into it. I'm glad Jamelle ain't here. Is politics wise, there's still old rules and old laws still running us. So Dre, going off of what you was just talking about.
Yep.
cars, they changing and things like that, but you prefer to stay in the old way.
No, I don't prefer to stand the other way. I was just
But
noting the difference. But no, I don't.
I'm confused, man.
I was clarifying how it ain't the fucking Mustang, but y'all picked a terrible example.
Okay.
But that's interesting. Like, what are you saying? Like, what rules society and those things?
all the old things on how we act, like we got things changing on genders, we got things changing on what we're supposed to eat, we got things changing on all these types of things. So in a sense, I guess you can say that old dog of society and things like that is dying, and it's time to grow.
Every sorry to say, it's bleak, but every generation that's old and don't change their ways, they fucking die off. Because like I said, the youthful generation, that's where your innovation comes from, that's where your energy comes from, that's where the fight to come from. We go fight wars, we're not sending some 50-year-old motherfuckers to go fight the wars.
Some pushback, I guess, is good too to go with all that.
So
Without
J.Carey,
pushback, we wouldn't
I think
have.
me and you kind of got into it. What about tradition? Like, when does that play a role?
I'm glad you brought that up. So, for example, when the holiday season comes around, what's the first thing everyone always says? Don't fucking test no new recipes on the day, right?
I thought you were going to go in a different direction.
No.
What you said? Don't experiment on Thanksgiving.
We're talking traditions, right?
Sure.
Don't make nothing new
Do
you ain't
not
used to.
fuck up this potato salad.
Don't
That's
experiment.
what we all have to eat,
Because somebody told you to try something different.
right? But at the same time, what Dre is saying, innovation drives shit forward. So there's some motherfucker right now in a 3-star Michelin restaurant that's making a $100 plate of potato salad, and you're gonna look at it like, the fuck is this? But it's new, it's innovative, it's refreshing. Now, I don't know. I think that there is, especially when you're dealing with tradition. I think you're always gonna have pushback from the previous generation.
On what you should
You're
do.
always,
Don't
right?
bring that
so
type of
for
shit
example,
here.
I mean, keeping it simple, your mom may have made mac and cheese with 2 types of cheese. That's all you're fucking getting.
Now you bring somebody.
You go to
into the
Whole
family.
Foods, it's a whole section of cheese. Why aren't we using all this shit, Mom?
Oh, you know what pissed me the fuck off? Is we've had this gumbo recipe in my family for I don't know how long. 10 years ago, they was like, oh, we want to be healthy. We're not going to put as much salt in it. Do that shit for your own pot.
Not on
For everybody else, make
So-
the shit how it's always been
But
made.
it's to be healthy. Salt kills us.
See, and
Fuck
okay,
that.
so
Don't play with the fucking rules.
we're getting off. We're getting
But
off.
traditions
yeah.
are hard to
And
break.
so I think, Dre, I'm gonna roll with you. The tradition of a recipe shouldn't be changed, especially on the holidays.
But what if somebody makes it better than, so what if I make it way better than what we used
Better
to?
than Graham. Exactly.
And y'all might like it, but you're mad, so now you don't want to eat it till I can't make it, but now I'm gonna just invite y'all over 2 weeks and then y'all just come eat this and then tell me,
2 weeks
can
before-
we make it?
That's how you need to do it.
Before or after, because the older generation still wants to eat that same kind. So now I gotta have somebody probably eat it after, not before, after, because if we do it before, everybody's gonna have to want to taste
Yeah.
it. So if I do it after, now they could talk to people like, no, that shit kind of good. So maybe he could.
But
So I guess that goes into just stubborn people.
not even that, because it's. I think the recipe is a good analogy, because with the recipe, we change shit. It fits into changing other cultural traditions where it's not like you're not just eating food, like you're experiencing memories. Like my mama did this and my mama did this and we did it. This is my memory of Thanksgiving, my memory of Christmas. Just,
I mean,
you're
I get
fucking
that.
with all of that when you
But
change something like
I
that.
know
that. I
for a
get that.
fact when it comes to tradition and, like I said, stubborn people and things like that, my mom for the last 3-4 years has been like, I don't want turkey for Thanksgiving. I want tacos next year. Why don't we do Hispanic Mexican?
I've heard
Why don't we
people
do this next
going
year?
that
So
route.
she's trying to make new traditions.
I fuck with that.
And
I
then
fuck
she's
with that.
also in a place of, let's not do it at somebody's house. Let's all pitch in. Let's go on the beach somewhere. And let's this and this and that. And then, like you said, there are some people like, I don't want to do all that.
Because some people are just tired of eating turkey too.
So then there it goes back to the original point. sometimes you have to see that shit for yourself. If you've been eating Thanksgiving dinner at grandma's house for 50 fucking years, one day you might wake up and be like,
I'm not going to grandma's.
this shit's whack. Like, I mean, I love y'all, but
It's the same shit.
why can't we go to, you know, fucking Cancun or some shit? You know? It takes the person.
Right. To take
Now,
the person.
For example, back to Dre's point, or you know, and we keep talking about food, okay, but no, but Dre's Creole,
hungry.
right? And that's a lot of history through food, right? So now you have young kids. What if one of your kids grows up and becomes a chef and totally redoes that shit, but it's fucking fire?
It goes back to what Cutter said. Let me taste it on December 1st. Because on December
Not on
25th,
25th. Okay,
there
all right.
will be fucking gumbo.
So I think traditions was a good way to. I'm mad we're using turkey as the analogy. but
Knock the pot over. What is
What is this shit?
it works.
Clean that up.
So y'all, we brought up a lot of things about the person. I think being stubborn. I'm sorry, and then like I said traditions and then culture is obviously one thing that comes into play because our culture don't do that. We don't do that in our culture, and I think with all those things, I'm just like, maybe it's the stubbornness, and the answer could be culture. But I'm like, what's wrong with changing a tradition? So like. Christians, what do we Baptists, we're so used to,
Yeah, man.
what the Bible says and things like that.
Church
And that
6 days a week.
every day and all that.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, some people say the church been lying to us.
I'm like, Sunday, whew, let me roll over.
You know what it
I'm
was?
not going nowhere.
No,
right?
we grew up and realized niggas was stealing out the building fund. And that's when it's like,
All them pew rallies.
it was like,
Niggas still
I don't
sitting on
think,
folding chairs. What's going on?
I don't think they is who they said they was.
I know. But that's a realization.
Yeah.
It brings you to a place of growth. And I don't think, personally, at our younger age, we were so like, no, my mom said I have to go to church on Sunday.
Shit.
And once we got to a place,
lucky.
hold up, Cutter. Once you got to a space, was like,
I ain't
fuck
going.
that.
I had to do it at least till I was like a sophomore.
Yeah.
My Uncle
yeah,
Terry
I
used to
know.
make niggas like me
And
and
stay.
Cash.
Why did you stop going?
Got to a point like, dude, why am I going to church that much?
So you broke that tradition and you found something else to do.
Smoke weed.
But whatever. But just whatever. You know what I'm saying?
but that.
But no, but
So
I get
now,
what
if you go
said.
tell go in your kid's room Sunday morning and be like, Sunday school, everybody get up. They're gonna be like, "Fuck, are you talking
See,
about?"
but I mean, I used to go to church like that, even older, but back then it was like at a certain age, like, nigga, we getting fucked up the night before. And then it's like you just said, come on, we gotta go to Bible study. Like, my dude, we can't miss. Like, we
Not
can't
1
miss. Like, no.
And it was ingrained in you.
Did he ever explain why, or he was just like, "That's how it's done"?
Both.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
And I'm a part of this church, so, and you staying with me, you over here, now you going every time too. It's tradition.
So then I guess that. Go ahead, Drew. You had one.
This goes back to what you're saying about the younger generation and how they're a little different. They're not going, but they got the internet where they see, he's not going to church, she's not going to church. I'm not the only one that's thinking this.
It's different now too. You could you can watch live,
Church on your phone.
on your phone. So why don't they? I don't even have to go to church.
So before we get too past it, we kind of got into that's how we were raised. So society and how they raise this youth, in my opinion, I don't have kids, so take my opinion and do whatever the hell you want with it.
Well, thanks.
Different. It's very, very lax, very, very, very different. Like, I see kids.
What do you mean by lax?
They just allow stuff. So, for example, I was going to the store.
Parents allow stuff.
Yeah. I was going to the store the other day, and I'm just in my car, and I watched this kid. It looked like it was his grandma. Walking up to the door, and he's on his phone. And she walks up to the door first, and he just kind of looks down, and then eventually he looks up as she looked at him and grabbed the door. He walks around her with the phone and walked in, and she's standing there. And I was just thinking, I got mad. I'm just like, I was like, how old is this kid? Maybe he doesn't know I'm supposed to open doors for. my grandma. You know what I mean? Let alone another female. Like manners, things like that. We don't have to go to church no more. They changing the traditions on Thanksgiving. Like, is it that generation? Our generation is just like, fuck it.
These kids ain't got no manners.
But we ain't as strict parents maybe as our parents were, because we seen like you don't have to be like that to get something accomplished, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you yelling at me or something like that, that don't mean that's gonna make me a better kid.
But you don't think that maybe that's why we are the way we are? Like, I think our generations is changing so much because our parents ingrained so much, I don't know, experience,
Were you
knowledge
scared
in us
of your
that
mom?
Hell yeah.
See, and I don't want my kids to be scared of me.
But-
That there it goes.
We're gonna go out. I'm gonna roll with you on this tangent for 2 seconds. One thing my mom told me was, yes, my kids are maybe afraid of me, but they respect me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other parents, they have no respect at all.
But-
So when I say I'm scared of my mom, that doesn't mean I'm about to flinch every time she walk in a room. Meaning I've grown enough respect for her that I won't do certain things in front of her.
Kids and parents are best friends now.
Yes.
Instead of a parent teaching a kid how to be a kid, it's more of, let me be your friend, and that love that I'll show you as a friend is more than your parent.
Okay, but at the same time, guys, we lived through the 90s.
Seems a lot of
There
shit.
was a lot of bad fucking kids in the 90s, right? So, do you have to do it the same way? You know, like, why?
But my kids don't grow up in shit that I grew up seeing.
Very true, because you're aware of what it could be.
But then
But
also
if-
we've talked about when we became parents,
Yeah.
we found out that our parents were figuring shit out the same way we were figuring shit out.
Okay.
On the go.
And I've said, there's a bunch of shit that I just am not gonna do that my parents did.
Correct.
And that's okay. And I guess that can just bring us all about learning and teaching, and growing and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to learn, hell, from the current generation, use some of that stuff that you was taught in the past generation and going forward. And then kind of what I was getting at is like, I feel like some of it's being lost. You know what I mean? With these teachings of things that we've grown and loved and stuff like that. So I began with the topic thinking elders learning technology.
Okay.
They had to learn something new in order to move forward. Right. And then those old dogs that I'm talking about are still sitting at home with, I don't know what they played with back in the day, an Atari or something. When you got a whole system in your phone. Well, I don't want to deal with that mess. I don't want to deal with that. I'm like, you got to learn that, you know, society is going to be a certain way. So when it comes to these kids.
And that is frustrating.
It made it easier too, though, and they don't like the way it is. But think about it, everything is easier for
everything
anyone.
is, yeah. And so that's
So why wouldn't you want to accept something that's 10 times easier?
better because it's not their way of doing it.
Do any of your
Well, it
kids
is-
know how to mail a letter?
They don't have to, though.
But
Bingo.
I get what you're
Or
saying.
write a check.
But it's still there.
Somebody could teach me how to be a parent on this.
Okay.
So why do I'm beating some shit in my kid's head, and then they go to YouTube and see another family, how life is, and now they're like, my
stay
shit's
right-
not right.
It's
But
not.
stay right there, Cutter. Like it's you have that device now that you can do so many things to it, and like your kids are willing to. Yeah, okay. What is this? Let me figure this. I bet you if you Dre said write a check or write a letter. I bet you if you went to one of these kids, say, hey, let me show you something. They're like, what's up? And then you pull out this checkbook. They're gonna be like, what the fuck?
This is money?
And then they're like, that's money. And it's gonna be like, oh shit. Oh, so I can do shit with this.
No, they'd be like, but you gave me this credit card or this debit card.
You made something so easier.
But there's options now.
They
Right.
can think it's themselves like, oh, this is what like we do. Y'all used to do that.
So it goes to, what is it? Humans always take the route of least resistance.
Boom.
So once we learn some new shit,
I don't want to do that.
why?
shit.
Why? Like, why am I doing that?
Am I doing
But also it takes effort to learn new shit. Like my pop,
Okay.
the only thing he's good for on a computer is sending an email.
That's it.
Do not try to
Oh,
get this man to
computer.
learn anything that deals with technology at all.
Yeah.
I've sat down with them. I've wrote down the steps on paper.
That phone
Still
call's
can't
coming.
still can't get right.
My mom,
Son, what's my password?
my mom got a couple days to try to work at home, and I was on the phone with her for like so long, and she's just getting frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just take it to work, and I'm just going in. Like, why? Just call the tech people. They'll help you. They'll tell you step by step.
But
Like,
right there, Cuther, I think that's kind of what J.Carey was saying, the willingness to learn something like that. I
they don't
think
want-
when someone get to a certain point, and maybe this answers my question about teaching old dogs, it's like, or Dre too, I don't have time for this. Like, just make it work. You know what I mean?
Make it work.
I'm an asshole. My pop says, like, no, slow down. Let me see what you're doing. I'm like, no, this is pointless. You ain't gonna remember this. You're not gonna remember this in 5 minutes.
That means you not being patient now.
No, I've gotten to this point because I've been patient.
I've
Hey,
tried
and I love them to death. That's why I do it. I love them to death.
Well, with this, hey people, don't give up on the old folks. They need to
but
learn some
my
of this
dad
shit.
shouldn't have no cell phone.
Huh?
My dad shouldn't have no cell phone.
Why not?
Cause my nigga, the texts he sends,
Yeah.
it's a mass of them. Like, he sends one text, nigga, and I send mine back, nigga, and it's 15, nigga, back to back. Just this type shit, nigga. Some shit you ain't never heard of. Like, why, dude? Like, how do you? But he does it to everybody. If he fucks with you, he sends everyone a text.
But you gotta think about it. Back when we started text messaging, you think we was on point like that?
Let me give him a pocket. He can do emojis. Most people they can do it in little spurts, but big change.
Paragraphs of
Nah,
emojis.
no big change.
No, nigga, I'll show y'all. I'm gonna send y'all one watch. Y'all gonna be like, oh yeah, that is crazy.
It happens to every generation. I think we're at the cusp right now of shit, like you said, shit's changing.
A lot.
And now it's like we have to make the decision. Are we going with the
changing,
change,
yeah.
or are we gonna be
He's
gray
not.
hairs?
He's not going with that Mustang.
Let me ask you. Oh, let me ask
with
y'all.
that.
Let me ask y'all.
What?
That's a Mustang.
Let me ask y'all. All right. So when IG came out, when we was on the internet heavy, no problem learning IG. That was like one of the first things that came out where you
It was
just had
simple.
to had to figure it out by doing it.
Yeah.
Cool. IG no problem. Facebook no problem. When TikTok came out, how was y'all at TikTok?
Lost.
I mean, I gotta ask my daughter what's going on.
How do I stitch the video? Like I get it. I
Oh,
get
she'll
it.
tell me something like, you gotta
Let me
add
ask-
something
let
to
me ask
make
what
it
you
better.
You gotta tab
Let me
right here
ask
and do
what
this.
you're asking. So is it? Do you think our generation found something that we're unwilling to learn? Is that
We're
what you're
there.
trying to ask?
We're definitely there.
So I got a TikTok
gonna say our
profile.
generation.
Look at
Hold
You
on,
have
hold on,
one?
hold on. I want to hear this. Go
look
ahead.
at my TikTok profile. See
I
what's
don't
on
have
there.
the app, bro.
Not
I
a
only
damn
have,
thing.
I have it because like I got a child.
I downloaded it just so I could.
wanna- you know what I mean?
I
And
downloaded it just so I could claim my name.
Okay.
And I was on there for maybe like 30, 40 minutes.
It's
I was,
too much.
And I was like, I ain't got time to learn this shit.
You gave up. Why? But okay. and
I don't
it's
have time
too
to
much.
learn
It's
this
too
shit.
And then
much.
hold on, before you,
And
Cuther,
our
you said
gen-
you had a child, so you're willing to learn new technology because you want to keep up with your kids.
I get that.
I've done one with them. Like they wanted to do a TikTok. Like we
Oh,
gotta
you was
do one
dancing?
with Coach.
You was on the videos?
No, I didn't do. My shit was simple. I didn't even dance. It was
Okay.
and kept it pushing. Like no. But I mean, it's fun. And
Yeah.
you got to think that interaction with your kid is better than being your kid's friend
you
at
go.
that moment. I could do
Yeah.
something with my parent like this instead. You know what I mean? That interaction is fucking awesome. But doing it by yourself, solo,
That ain't it.
You in the bathroom
So
mirror.
Cuther, you got a good point that I was trying. We kind of touched with these kids and things like that, and changing and things like that. You made a good point of like I do it because it's fun to be with my kids. I don't have kids, but like my nephews, if I drop a joke from TikTok or something like that, oh, it's craziness. Like, oh, you look, Uncle, I'm gonna send you
another
this.
one? Yeah.
I'm gonna send you this. I might look at one or two of them, and it probably be funny.
That's happened with my nieces.
Huh?
That's happened with my nieces.
That's-
They were shocked I knew some of this shit. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
I ain't 50.
I mean, but
I
you
mean,
showing that
to
you're
them-
To them.
showing that
Yeah,
you're
you're
rolling
right.
with it. So
That's why I
you're
wanna-
showing that you're not an old dog. That I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to play along.
Yeah.
I might be stern, and I got, in the '60s we had the
In the 60s?
yeah.
No,
Hold up.
in the 90s.
But that's
Yeah, see?
like you joke rules. and showing these kids, you know what? I know how to break the rules.
So that's why I kept asking, let's have something to do with that chip challenge, the hot chip challenge. I seen some shit, nigga, and this lady was in the bathroom.
Oh, they're
nigga.
shitting themselves doing that shit.
Y'all about to go on some wild.
I know. But again, it's
ahead, J.K.
are you gonna?
You don't think niggas will do that?
This
you
is why the
gonna
old dogs
try?
don't do the new trick. You can be shitting yourself in the tub.
That's a good point too. Like, is there just some shit that I just shouldn't fucking do?
But it's for a cause of a good laugh. That's all it is. And somebody thinking that they could eat the hottest shit ever and it doesn't work. But I want to laugh. Y'all don't like how hard you're laughing now. That's how I want to look at somebody.
At somebody.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you're gonna have me
No,
on that.
I'm not trying to do
Not
that
at
shit.
me.
But
That goes into growth and all the things that we were talking about.
I'm buying one
It's
watch.
not that I'm not willing to do things. I'm aware of what's going on.
That's the wisdom, right? So damn, what's the balance?
Right.
How can you be wise and adventurous?
So it's right
know.
there. Then I guess we can end it. We can end it here. Being unwilling to learn something new could go in two different ways. It could be that I just flat out don't care. I don't want to. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Or it could be like, I know what's gonna happen. That's what I'm not gonna
I ain't doing that shit.
Let's go around the table, man. We got a little silly today. Dre, you started us off. You hated your pants.
I'll never wear these motherfuckers again.
Wrap it up for me, man.
So I'll go with, I'll come at it like this. We should always be learning something new. It is dangerous to stay stagnant and unwilling to adapt to the world around us. So I would say, yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. You definitely can. Goes to J.Carey said, it depends on the dog. And you may be met with a little bit of resistance.
Okay, and so I think with yours, I think we did talk and discuss it a little bit. Resistance, it's okay, but be still willing to listen.
Yeah.
J.Carey, what you got, man?
Yeah, I can echo Jay's sentiments. I mean, it's just, I think that, I mean, yes, to answer the question, yeah, you could definitely teach an old dog new tricks, but it's situational. Like, should you be learning this trick? Or should this dog be learning this trick? Sometimes, you know, you get set in your ways because they work. So maybe, you know, what E was saying, part of that is complacency, but I mean, if shit works, shit works. And life is gonna keep going on. Sometimes we just don't have time to I don't need to innovate right now. You know what I'm saying? I just need to just get through the day. So again, it all depends. But personally, yes, I want to be the old dog eventually that knows new tricks for as long as possible. I mean, God willing, we live a long time. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to be, you know, I wouldn't want to be a stagnant 85-year-old, you know, who's just like, I remember how I went. Like, why? You know, like the world around you is going to keep moving.
What the fuck is there?
Yeah, you know. So it's just, you got to keep moving. That's how I feel, honestly.
Come on, Cutter, what you got, bro?
I just thought about it as you go to high school, then if you go to college, that right there is learning a lot, especially like old niggas that never went and then they decide to go to learn something new. That has to be hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? To be out of school for so long and going straight out of high school, you do it. And if no one in your family does it, you know, you're breaking a
tradition.
Right there. You know what I mean? Straight up, because not too many people in my family went to college, so I thought it was like, nigga, that shit's about to be dope as fuck just for me to do it. You know, then when you graduate, it's really like,
started something.
You know what I mean? But that was something I definitely didn't want to do. But, you know, after a while, it was like, shit, I'm learning a whole lot of new tricks now.
Right.
You know, how to adapt to a whole different type of atmosphere of people that you never knew. You know what I mean? People, this being in Iowa, straight up like that, like who
It was a different experience, yeah.
I didn't want to see corn and fucking peas on the way to college every day, you know what I mean? So that shit was like fucked up, but if no one was like, you know, go and to go to college, I probably wouldn't have did it, but somebody has to teach somebody or give somebody some advice. And I was willing to take the challenge, and I think taking challenges is what doesn't keep you content.
I love it. I love it. So for me, I think I'm gonna take from everybody and some of the stuff Dre was saying earlier. I believe, no, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But what Dre kind of said earlier, they're dying off. A lot of those old dogs that are unwilling to learn, I just want to do it my way, those types, I don't know if that's cynical or if it's bad or if whatever it may be, but I think that type of dog is dying. I think a lot of these dogs that we have in these fights today are like, all right, I know I want to do it like this, but show me that bullshit that you're doing so I can figure out if that's going to help my ways of doing things. They're willing to like, all right, I still want to do it my way, but show me that. Okay, fuck that. I'll take that. I'll take that. And then as the dogs change, they're willing to be like, you know what? Fuck that. Bring it all in. Let me see what I can make from all this new shit and create some more new shit. And I think that's where we're going with this generation. So again, to answer my own, no, you can't teach an old dog, because I just think there's a certain type of a dog that's just like,
Never.
this is how how it works. It's easier for me. I know you can probably teach me something that might work, but fuck that.
Fuck that.
And that's why that nigga's mad all the time. Right there.
And then you look at him, you got about 15, 20 more years.
Damn.
Why are you still talking to me?
But with all these dogs and assholes out here saying fuck that, we all washed, but we in this together, man. I appreciate y'all. This
Appreciate
was a fun
y'all.
one.
Already.
Peace.
Nigga said, nah,
If Jamelle was here, he liked them old dogs.
right?
White supremacy.
Man.